Perhaps the single biggest challenge of my life happened 25 years ago when my more than 17-year marriage was sinking deeper and deeper into a crisis. And for a whole year, I had wrestled with one thought that kept going through my head over and over and over again, multiple times during the same day. I have to do something about my marriage. I have to do something about it. Those were the exact words. I have to do something about it. Comes December, and I sit down to write down the 10 goals for the next year. That was the way I handled it at that time. And of course, I knew that the first item on the list will be, I have to do something about my marriage. And like it happens with things that are important but not urgent, I didn't sit down to that planning right away the moment I decided to do it. But one day, I finally sat down with my notebook, a paper planner I used at the time. There was a section there for like more strategic long-term things. And I opened it up. And I couldn't wait to put it on paper so that I take that step forward. I open up my planner, and all of a sudden, I can see 10 items on the list. And the first one is, I have to do something about my marriage. And at first I thought, did I forget that I had already done that plan? And then I looked at the bottom of the page. And at the bottom of the page, I saw the date. And the date was a year before. I had gone through this moment, through this exact same moment, a year before, without realizing it. And I went through the entire year thinking I have to do something about my marriage, without realizing that I had already thought I had decided about it. Many people collect 5 or 10 years in their biography, but they don't gather 5 or 10 years of experience. What happens is they repeat the same year 5 or 10 times. And that's exactly what happened to me in that year. That day, sitting over that planner in complete shock, I decided I would never again allow the same year to happen twice. I would never again allow myself to stand in one place in my life for a year and repeat a year. You know, no one likes their child to repeat a year in the same class, right? I've recorded this video to share with you what I changed that day so that I would never make that mistake again. And at the end, I'll tell you also what one mistake you need to avoid, not to go twice through the same year. I have never since repeated the same year, not even the same week. My family problems found their resolution in the year that followed, and not long after, I took on a new career. Because once you start the path of conscious, intentional living, and conscious, intentional choosing your own direction for the time to come, it opens up completely new possibilities. Many years later, this year, at the age of 66, I relocated with my family permanently to Portugal, which in fact is the beginning of a totally new life for all of us. In hindsight, that decision to never again allow a year to repeat itself changed everything. What did I do exactly? Number one, once and for all, I said goodbye to the word I have to, or expression. I have to is one of the biggest lies we're serving ourselves to not have to do anything. It's like an anesthetics. You stop feeling the pain of not making the change that you know is necessary or would be very good for you. I have to kind of means to us, we're not questioning the need for that change, and it gives us the illusion of taking the first step. Since I have to lose weight, I have to learn the language, I have to leave this toxic job, I feel like I'm almost doing it. But almost, in this case, makes a whole difference. So the second step, after you throw out the word I have to, is to replace I have to with I resolve. I resolve to drop a few pounds or a few kilos of my weight. I decide to learn a language. I decide to start saying no in situations where I want to say no. And if you do that one change, you'll be surprised to see what happens once you replace I have to or I must with I decide. That's a world of difference. And since you've already deciding, since you're already resolving to make a change, then what do you resolve to change in your life in the year that's just about to start, or next month, or next week, because it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be a year. Any new period, that's what brain research tells us, any new period, any new beginning, any new piece of paper makes it easier for us to take the first step. It takes less energy to break through the inertia. So what one thing will you change this year to make sure that you don't repeat the same year? What one important thing will change this year? What one important thing you will do that you have not done in the year that's ending? What will you start? Maybe what will you finish? What will you say goodbye to? Or what will you bring into your life? What do you want to have more of in your life? And what do you want to have less of in your life? What one step that you've been thinking about for a long time, you resolve to take this year to make a change? One word of warning, Brian Tracy says, only action changes life. And that's true. Of course, changing the way you think and replacing I have to with I resolve is a change of your thinking style. But unless this is followed by action, it will only remain a fantasy. So the first thing you need to do after watching this video, is answer one question. What should happen this year so that this year is really a new year and not a repetition of the year that I have just gone through? What one thing has to happen this year? What one decision am I taking now to really start a new fantastic chapter in my life? You can't change your history, but you can give it a new meaning, and you can start writing a new chapter to that history right away. Thanks for the like and for subscribing to my channel, and I see you next week.